Hello everyone, my name's Jerry and today I'm going to build a pair of binoculars. This time I'm going to make, as I said in my last video, at the end of my last video I said I was going to make something from Obi-wan Kenobi, and what I've chosen is a pair of binoculars. The binoculars that he's using at the start of episode 1, at the middle of episode 1, and he's using it to spy on Luke Skywalker, and I just thought they'd be a great thing to build. I didn't see anyone else building them. They're also, I found a STL foil online, a few pictures, and I drew up my own diagram. Let me show you the diagram. Please excuse the crudeness of the crappy diagram. This is just the front, and I got measurements of what I wanted to be. I also got a little fabric tape measure that I swiped from my ma. I measured up my eyes, how far across my eyes would be and how far I wanted it across my head. Wrote them down. There's also a few dials on the top of it. Right at the top. So that's the inside, where the eyepiece would be. There's the top, right? So right on the top here, there is, let's see, here is a little LED and a dial, and over here there's a few circular buttons that just kind of go, it look like a D-pad, right? But what I'm going to do is, instead of the dial, I'm going to put in this. It's a little switch, on-off switch. We have a little bit of wire. Blue LED is stored back there, so I'm going to put a little blue LED in it and a little dial, or a little button. There's a greebly at the side here. Really see if there's anything I have in that might work. Let's see if I can find something in here. Maybe a bit too big, maybe if I cut a bit off it, I don't know. So a couple of bits and bobs there. What I'm doing is I just glued these pattern pieces, so these are the actual sizes. That's just a little scribble diagram of what I wanted to be. These are the actual sizes, so this is a little trim bit at the front. And I only drew half of them because they're symmetrical. I can fold them over. And then when you put them on the phone, we're using, I think it was 5mm for the actual body of it. And I might put a bit of 10mm or something in the middle just to kind of strengthen it up. You also have to leave room for light on the inside. LED light. It's only one LED, so it only takes a 3V, so that's not too bad. Little 3V. 2032 cell battery, the little coin ones, and I have a little coin holder, a little battery holder for them. Now, 1, 2, 3. Let's get some foam. Now, this is a bit of foam I have drawn on it already, but it's still good to go. So I'm contemplating whether I should actually put them at an angle. You might put them 45, and when I glue them together the seams won't be as bad, whereas if, like, say I'm cutting them like this and then I'm gluing the next part, this part here, on top like so, there'll be a seam along here. But if I cut them at an angle, the seal will almost be hidden, like. So a bit of 2mm for this. I'm sure we'll find some in the scrap pot. Oh, I might make it 3mm just to make it a bit more pronounced. There's a load of 3mm there. Oh, there we go. That needs to be just cut up and down normally. No messing about with that one. Right, I'm going to cut this bit out with a ruler because it's nice and square. Always try and use a ruler when you can, because it's going to give you the best edges, the best straight edges you can get. Like, obviously in curved bits you don't need a ruler. You just need a steady hand, but when you're trying to cut like straight lines, the best bet is a metal ruler. I wouldn't use a plastic ruler. I've tried that before. You just chop chunks at the side of the ruler out. Sharpen before this, because I know when you're cutting the round bits they're not going to come out right. Slowly does it, gently does it. There's always a bastard when you're trying to cut them. Never go right. Wait, was I not supposed to cut these at an angle? Ah, shy. Cut the next one at an angle and I'll show you what I mean. Sure, you can always cut the angle into it afterwards. It's not ideal. It works. This is the front, so this should have been cut at an angle as well. My brain's not working at all. So centre of this, centre of that. Go like that. And then this will go curved all the way around down to the end. Look, I made plans, so I'll be like, you know what, I'll make a set of plans and I'll know what I'm doing. And then people think I actually do know what I'm doing, and I don't. Let's see how good this fits in. So again, I'm lining it up in the middle. Best I can. I need to think now. Well, that's off, isn't it? Well, that's not the middle. Getting there already. Looks like Geordi LaForge's visor. I had a bleak cut it out at an angle. I suppose I could start again. I mean that took me all of about 15 minutes. You know what? I'm going to start that again. I mean I've loads of like scraps of foam with it that can just work. This I'll keep. I've often made stuff like sometimes I'd make this and consider, you know, this is a starting point. This is the way I want it to be, so I know how to do it. And then when I go and do the actual final prop, I know I'm not making any mistakes this time. Like, if that makes any sense. Of course, I don't make a lot of sense nowadays. And it's okay if you make a mistake. It's okay to start again. Like, don't beat yourself up that it's not going right on the first go. You don't even have to throw this out, like you could almost, you know, just go ahead with it and make, or keep it and make another one. Like, there's no harm in having two. Like, it was easy enough to make. Like, I could make this one and not put the LEDs in it and just have a spare somewhere for display, or give it to someone or something. Like, you know, it wasn't that hard to make, and it's only what 1, 2, 3, 4 bits. It's not as if I'm, you know, 10 hours deep into a project and I'd be really pissed then at that stage if I discovered something that needed to be fixed. Like, so I think I'll keep that bit, and then when I can use the Dremel, I'll Dremel those bits into an angle, and then I'll continue on and make that one. So I'll have two. Line up. What I usually do is when I'm lining up the middle is I either bend it in or bend it out, so you're not touching the glue off the other bits, so it doesn't stick while you're trying to get it lined up. And just do one side at a time. You can use your finger as well to kind of feel where the glue is going, and I'm just tacking this on a little bit. I'm not pushing the pressure down, pushing it down. Like, same again that side. Yeah, just use your finger, tacking it down. I'm not worried about those little edges. Like I said, they're all going to be Dremeled. And in it goes. And push it down on the other side with a bit of pressure. Stick properly. And voila! Now we're sucking diesel. Again, too much epoxy foam. Epoxy contact cement, not foam. We're flying. Getting there already. I suppose it does help when you have a little plan. When you have a plan down. And then need to go with that side. The same for the other side. That should be the same. I mean, I measured it up before. I'm just double checking because I mean, again, that's 3. That's 3.5. So it's the same. I noticed when I was editing my last video, get over to you, that on the overhead camera I have a tendency to lean back, so you can't really see it. And here's me with the overhead camera showing like most of the table. I need to put my arms up on it so you can see what I'm doing. But as I said, I'm only a couple of videos in. We're all learning. I am by no means an expert at this. This is a hobby that I absolutely love. Like, if I could make this my job, I would love it. I worked in a job for 20 years and I never really liked it. First 10 years were alright, but after that, downhill. And I don't know what job satisfaction is like. So, to work in a job that I actually love, that would be the dream. Giving the glue a good bit of time to dry, because contact cement is like, you can't just put contact cement on and stick two things together. You have to give it a bit of time to dry. I've probably said it before, but when you put the contact cement on, if you just tap your finger on it like that, you'll kind of see that it's tacky and not wet, and when it's tacky, it's ready to go. Out with my gin blaster. Some of the seams didn't hold together, probably because the contact cement wasn't dry enough and it was lashing out that day, so it was cold and wet. It's just me being a dope. Right, so I'm back. Different t-shirt, I see. I downloaded this picture of it. It was a 3D model. I think I got it from Thingiverse. And I just downloaded a zoomed in copy of it so I could see where all the stuff goes. Well, no. So I think I'm going to get the LEDs first. Get it out of the way, like, why not? Here's my LEDs. So it's a blue one, and I think I have blue LEDs. I do. Let's see how bright it is. Right, so it's a real easy way of testing these to see if they work or how bright they are. So, slide it on. Would that be look bright enough? Or these are all blue. 3 volts, 2.8 volts, 3 volts. Test it. This one is tiny. It's a really, really small LED. I think I'm going to go with the OG blue one. That'll go in there. I'll just hot glue it or something in from behind. Probably hot glue, I think. We have the switch here. I'll hot glue the switch into that as well. Not exactly sitting flush. So, let me give you the basic premise. Oh wait, yeah, I forgot that one was broke. I can't even. Oh wait, they both broke? Oh shit, they're both broken. I suppose I could jimmy up something. Let me see. One's going on the top. One's going on the bottom. Let's just see if this works. Bear in mind, this is just for testing purposes. But again, I don't know which is. Oh yeah. So that'll work. Right, so I can do that. And I'm going to. So what you need to do is try and explain this to you in the same terms as I understand it. You've got positive, negative, or vice versa. I don't know which one is which, but I know it's one or the other. And then the light, positive, negative, and as far as I know, the longer one is the negative. Right, so this is so I don't forget. What I need to do is I need to make a break in one of them. Just like say pick a wire. It doesn't really matter which one. And then I solder each of those wires to the switches. And then when you press the switch, it reconnects that connection, putting power into the LED. And when you turn it off, it shuts it off again. Today is the day to make a mess. You don't really need flux when you're doing wires, but I find it a better idea. The flux is only really used for like circuit boards and stuff like that. But it is handy. And then what I always suggest everyone does if they're soldering stuff like that is pre-tin your soldering iron. I'm going to just try and, so the wire's already wrapped around, so I only really need to add a bit of solder to keep it in place. I'll just solder it in there for a few seconds, take it away, let it cool. Now I also have heat shrink, so I'm going to unravel that wire, put a bit of heat shrink on it as well. The heat shrink will help any shorts or anything like that. No. That's that in there. I'll glue this in. It might have been too much glue. Really hot, so I came through the other side. Too much. A big blob on the outside. That's not too bad. So I'm going to, if I put the battery, a little hot glue in the battery as well. Just hot glue it all down. No one will notice once it's inside there. I might try and make a little flap, or because if I hot glue it in and seal it all up, there'd be no way to change the battery. So I might have to put in a little flap or something like that. I don't know. We'll see when we come to it. Like, maybe if I just put the battery like that. See. I'll do the white wire first. Yeah, that'll do. Let's see. And you can use wee bit of flux. And then I need to. Where did I put that in there? Jesus Christ, yeah. Have enough space. Hold that in there. There you go. And same again, I'm going to use it off for now. So white needs to go to the top one. It's always good as well to have different coloured wires when you're doing something like this, because different coloured wires will distinguish it, like, you know, between positive and negative. I just test as I go, because I've gotten it wrong before. So I'm going to put the bottom one on first, so you see, you definitely, well not definitely, but you might not be able to see that. That's it. What was the last one that says fiddly in it? Ultimate test. Hey, look. Haha, haha, haha. Right. While I'm here, I'll draw it. While that's sorting itself out, I'll do a little diagram and show you. Now, bear in mind, I am no expert on this, okay? Positive, negative, right? So you always have a wire going from negative to negative and positive to positive, right? Get the switch going, you get a break in one of the wires. Doesn't matter which one it is, like I found out that the hard way. But you just break it, like that, and then you same again. You'll have a switch. My one, it's the shittiest switch. It looks like a willy. And mind that. I'm taking it off the positive wire, right? So in here you'll have like another little wire that connects these two. When you connect these two together, the switch, when you press the switch down, it'll say there's a little thing here like this, right? When you press the switch down, that's a crew drawing, there's no way it's actually like that. But when you press the switch down, it will move this and reconnect the connection to it, turning the light on, and when you press it off, the switch will go off and disconnect it. So that's basically it. Battery, LED, positive, negative. Make sure the wires are positive, negative, 3 volt, and then a switch. Nice little trick as well, try and avoid super glue. It's not even stabbed into it, it's just the friction of it is keeping it on, down, that'll be me. It's an awful core, it's all jagged, but I think it'll work because I'll run the heat gun over it in a bit, and heat gun should shrink all those little bits. There's these things you can get. What are they called again? Cause tools. They have it's basically a set of tools specifically designed for cosplay. They're like circle cutters. There's a big one like that looks like a bowl upside down, and you turn the thing and it cuts perfect circles. and then there's small ones for cutting rivets and things like that. I priced them to get them from America, but they're not cheap, like, so maybe it's something. They're so handy looking, like they cut everything. Like, there's also like a ruler with it, and there is like straight cutters and V cutters and things for cutting things at an angle and all. They're just all deadly, like, so handy to have them, but alas, they'll have to wait amongst other things. These two little boxes, maybe I'll find something here. Well, that's almost perfect, but again, I don't want to take that off because it's part of something. Hey, look. I don't know what they're off of. Different colours probably. Exactly the same. Would it be too cheeky to put the glue on the D-pad? Just glue it straight on. Will anyone ever know? Yep, I do that. I have to drill a hole in one of them though. It's so satisfying when you find something that just fits something perfectly, like even gluing a D-pad onto it. That's hilarious. But again, it saves you making stuff, doesn't it? If you don't have to, don't do it. And then I glue that. And there. This is the tester. I'm easily pleased. Right, so while I was away, I printed out a little cone shaped thing for the eyepieces. There. I'm going to test it out. I don't know if it'll work or not, so I'm just going to cut it and then I'm going to test it and see if it works. So I'll glue these bits on. I need to get another bit of 5mm for another one of these, but I'm going to glue them together before I look for that bit of foam. Oh. Let's see. Normally I'd put the seam against the seam so you can hide them. For structural integrity, I'll offset it a little bit. I'm going to offset the seam a little bit. Measure. Okay. Voila. Glue these on here. And then we'll see the seam. I'm going to put it downwards. Maybe inwards. Inwards might be better. And then measure exactly where they're going to go. Go there. Yeah, that'll be fine. And then plastic dip it. Again, I won't film the plastic dipping. And then I'll come back and I'll paint it. And we'll see how we get on there. Right, so we're back from plastic dipping. I did 2 coats. You can see that. Give it a good zoom in. So I'm going to paint them now. And I'm just going to do basically a little kind of weathering. Because they're already black as it is. They just need to be weathered. I'll show you a little technique. Just get a little bit of paint on your finger, tiny bit. Put most of it off. And just kind of use your finger instead of a brush. You get all the high points the finger will. Better with wax-based paint, but I don't got any, so just keep dabbing and swirling. That's done. And I think that's it. I always wondered what rub and buff would be like doing this. Technically that's what rub and buff is actually made for. You rub it and you buff it. Right, so they're done. There we are, 2 of them. I'd only planned to make 1, but there's 2. One has lights on it. I don't know how good this will show up on the camera, but it's a little blue LED with a battery inside that we're never going to be able to change. But sure, look, it is what it is. Now, I don't need 2 of these. I hadn't planned to build 2 of these. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to do a competition. When I hit 100 subscribers, I'll put one of them up for a raffle, pick someone in the comments at random, and I'll send it away for it. I realise 100 subs is, Jesus, 60 something off, 63 or 62 off, but it'll be something to build towards. You know, it'll be something like a goal for me, and then I think every milestone, maybe the next one will be 500 or 1,000 if I ever get that far. I'll do another raffle, something else I built, and I'll send it away. I'm chuffed with these, I really am. Considering I was planning on building something else, and I went, let's try and build something from, you know, a TV show that's on at the moment. That way, if it's on at the moment, it might get the channel might get a bit of traction. Maybe, who knows, maybe we'll build something else from Obi-Wan before the show ends. There's only 2 episodes left. Or maybe if there's any other TV shows out there that any of you guys want me to build something from, I can give that a go. I have plans to build the phase rifle from Star Trek Voyager. So for now, I'm going to get back to the Batman and build this. I promise I'd build that. Right, that's it for this week. If there's anything you want me to build or you think I can build, just slap it in the comments below and we'll get back to you. Good luck. So like if you put on a lower hover. Oops.